That's my scariest face. The Conjuring 2. I'm gonna preface by saying this. I don't usually like scary movies. It's not because I get scared, it's because they're actually horribly made films with jump scares galore and sea-level acting. But The Conjuring was actually a rare exception to that, and I actually really wound up enjoying that movie, so I was really looking forward to this one. And let's just say that they conjured up a nice little sequel. The film once again stars Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga as a supernatural duo of Ed and Lorraine Warren, and you'd think them just exploring another case could feel a little redundant or a little repetitive, but it really doesn't, and there's a few reasons why. First of all, one thing I loved about this movie was the setting. It feels like every single scary movie these days has the exact same setting. It's some small rural town in the States, a very old, secluded house that a couple is forced to move there for some reason, and there's no neighbors around, and slowly they get terrorized, blah blah blah. But this was different. First of all, it's set in London, so right away I was like, hey, this is different, this is new, I like it. And then when you actually see the house, it's actually a townhouse on a busy street. So there are neighbors around, there's people around. And when you go in the house, it feels like it's a lived-in, real place. It's not just some generic haunted house looking set that looks like a set. It looks like a real place. As good as Wilson and Farmiga were, the real star of this movie is actually the little girl who's experiencing the brunt of the haunting in this family. She did an amazing job. I was seriously blown away by her performance. She really captured that she's just a genuinely terrified little girl who doesn't understand what's going on, but she does not like it. The other children in the family, as well as the mother, also did a very good job. What really separates The Conjuring 2 from a lot of scary movies is that the characters are grounded in realism. The way they react to situations is believable. You can see why they do things. You can see why they say this, why they do that. And that makes them more relatable. Often in scary movies, you see the mom doing something ridiculous, like she's in some sort of weird denial, like her daughter was just levitated across the room and a chess piece fell down and she says, "Oh, it must be the floorboards." And you're like, really? And that stuff just drives you nuts and it takes you out of it. There's none of that in this movie. All the characters were really, really well done. There's definitely times when one of the kids will approach a very scary situation alone, but the way it's shot and executed makes it believable. It's not like they're just some dumb kid. They're actually just genuinely very intrigued but scared at the same time by these weird disturbances around the house. And all those isolated scenes where the kids were sort of separated from each other going towards a scary moment were so gripping and intense. I love them. That goes for all the scary moments in this film. They were so well executed. All these other scary movies seem to follow the exact same formula. It starts out where they're a happy family, and then there's a few weird noises, and then about 1/3 of the way through there's a huge scene and it ends up that, oh, that noise was actually just the cat. And you just know exactly what's going to happen. It's so predictable. There's this huge setup with no payoff, and it's just a bunch of cheap jump scares. It sucks. It's always just someone walking along the hallway, and then all of a sudden, bang! Did that scare you? Probably not. It probably annoyed you the way it annoys me in all these scary movies with the jump scares. Don't waste time with incessant noise. Actually develop the characters and develop the monsters so we care, and so we're actually scared for them. Thank God in this movie, all the scares come from terrifying imagery, beautiful setup, very uncomfortable situations, and the evil presence in this film isn't just some generic ghost. It's something that is genuinely terrifying. It moves creepy, it talks creepy, it acts creepy. It just gives you this very unsettling feeling, which is the highest compliment a horror movie can get. The way you can always tell if a scary movie is actually a good scary movie is by the theater reaction. If there's people making noise, there's girls screaming, that means it's not actually scary. They just think it's fun to scream in a scary movie. When you have dead silence like there was in The Conjuring 2, that means that everybody, old and young, is freaked out. They're uncomfortable, and that's exactly what a horror movie should aim for. They shouldn't be going for these loud jump scares that make people jump out of their seats. That uncomfortable eeriness is what you should always be after, because that's what sticks with you when you leave the theater. Take me, for example. I don't normally get creeped out by movies. There's only a certain few that have actually sort of stuck with me after the movie. But leaving this movie, I felt that slightest sense of hesitation looking in the mirror, or looking down the hallway, or when I was entering a dark room, it was sort of the... Hello? The bottom line is that most horror movies suck. So the idea that a horror movie sequel could actually be good, let alone great, seems impossible, but this was a great movie. Not just a great scary movie, it was a great film. The only slight complaint I could have is that The Conjuring 2 doesn't exactly offer anything new. There are the normal horror tropes in it, but they're so well executed that it doesn't really matter, and The Conjuring 2 definitely receives mission accomplished. So guys, have you seen The Conjuring 2? What did you think? What's your favorite scary movie? For me, it's The Omen. That movie just creeped the hell out of me. There's a creepy atmosphere, creepy music, creepy characters, and one hell of a creepy kid, and it just made my skin crawl. I really should rewatch it though, because it was a great film. But whatever you think, please comment below and let me know, and if you like this video, click like. Thanks for watching, and until next time, see you later.